So welcome everyone for the second session, the final session of consumer equilibrium using indifference curve approach. Today we are going to see the remaining contents of this chapter, that is what do you mean by budget set, what do you mean by budget line, how the rotation and shift in budget line takes place, and what do you mean by or how we can express consumer equilibrium. Okay, so we are starting with the first content, that is budget set. See, if we talk about the budget set, it means it is the tabular representation that shows the possible combinations of two goods, say A and B, that can be purchased by a consumer from his given level of income. It means, as we told you earlier, as a rational consumer, a consumer is given with his given level of income and it is held as constant. So the budget set is basically a tabular representation of price line, or we say budget line. It represents the income of the consumer and how a consumer can purchase in two products or buy two products from a given level of income. Right? Now, if we need to draw a possible level of two goods that can be purchased with a given level of income, so we can say, for example, if the income of a consumer, say, is rupees 100. Now, with the given level of income, he can buy, if say the price of a unit of a commodity of Y is rupees 2 and of X is 4. It means we can buy 1 unit of X with the rupee 4, and we can buy 2 with the we can buy unit of Y at rupees 2 per unit. It means these are the values by which we can purchase X and Y unit. Now, if we say, if we are purchasing, or a consumer is purchasing 50 units of Y at the rate of 2, it means the entire amount of income of a consumer, say 100, is being spent on Y, and no other unit can be purchased of X, since the whole of the income has been utilized for the purchase of all the units of Y. Now, if we say we need to purchase 5 units of, say, X, it means Y unit will have to be sacrificed, or there will be less unit that we can buy for Y and more unit we can buy for X. Again, the expenditure will be 100. So, if we say a consumer wants to buy 5 more additional units of X, we need to sacrifice 10 more units of Y. Again, the income that has been spent will be 100 only. See, how can we measure it? If we multiply this by 4 and this by 2, you will be getting the entire amount equal to 100. Fine. Again, if a consumer would like to buy more unit of, say, X, they will have to sacrifice more and more unit of Y. Again, we can say that amount of expenditure will be same. So, what we are seeing the possible level of combination that a consumer can buy from a given level of income. These are the basically possible level we can frame. We can also frame some other possible combinations also, but we need to see that we must frame the possible combination that must be easy to understand and grasp by the students. Okay, Now, if we say a consumer would like to purchase 25 units of 4, he will not be able to buy a single unit of Y. It means these are basically the possible combination, and we can say this is what the budget set is all about, a tabular representation that indicates the various possible combination of two goods that a consumer can buy from a given level of income. We can measure one thing, that the slope of budget set is constant. If it is constant, we can say the line that we are talking about, say budget line, that will be a slant downward sloping line that will indicate how a consumer can purchase two commodity from a given level of income. It means the slope of budget line we can say as delta, say y upon delta x, since if we talk about 10 upon 5 units of 10 have been sacrificed for the gain of 5 units, it will be 2. So the slope of budget line, sorry, budget set, or we can say budget line also, is constant, and it will be 2 in every other possible level of combination. So when the slope is constant, neither rising nor diminishing, it will be horizontal, so it will be straight, slanting, downward sloping line. This is what we can say is budget line. So we can give a definition of budget line as the budget line is a diagrammatic representation of a downward straight sloping line that indicates the various possible combination of two goods that a consumer can buy or purchase with the given level of income. So it's a tabular representation, that is budget set. It's a diagrammatic representation, say budget line. Now, if we talk about some point inside the budget line, they will be indicated as attainable areas. It means these are the areas that can be attained, but at these level or these possible combination, the entire amount of income of a consumer has not been consumed. That we need to take care of it. If we talk about somewhere outside the budget line, these are the points that are known as unattainable. Unattainable means unachievable, since from the given level of income, a consumer will not be able to purchase higher amount of units of goods, since his income is limited, given and constant. Okay. So basically this is the budget set and this is the budget line that we have talked about you and taught you. Now the remaining thing that we are going to see is rotation and shift in budget line. You just need to take care of it, students. If we are talking about rotation, say first of all we say this is the budget line. Slope of budget line is constant as we talked about you. Now, if we say it is constant slope, now if we need to talk about the rotation, rotation always takes place whenever there is change in price. Whenever there is change in price of either good, say X or Y, it will lead to rotation. How come? If we say, if we have increased the price of X in the market, the price of X has been increased, it means the consumer would like to buy more, since his given level of income is constant and his purchasing power will be low, as and when he is going to purchase the market with his given, he is going to purchase units with the given level of income. We can say earlier, before the increase in price, he was purchasing X unit at this level. after increase in the price of X, he is going to purchase such amount of the units of X. Since due to increase in the price of goods, his real income, or we can say purchasing power, has been decreased. Fine. So if we say this about as a rotation, you just need to see whenever there is a change in price of either good X or Y, we can say there will be rotation take place. This is how the rotation take place. Again, we take another example. We can say rotation also take place whenever there is a reduction in the price of goods. If the reduction in the price of goods will take place, rotation will take place, right? यहाँ पे rightward आपका move कर जाएगा, and the rotation where y units will have no change, since there is no change in the price of y, but the price of X has been reduced. The consumer is willing to buy more, since his real income or purchasing power will be increased. Got it? For example, we have taken the X as a price of 4 and Y as a price of 2. Suppose if the price of X has been reduced to 2, certainly he will be able to buy more, but the Y will having the same units to be demanded by him. Okay? Now, this is what we call as the rotation. If we talk about the shift usually takes place whenever there is a change in income of the consumer. Since rotation leads to increase or decrease in the units of both X and Y, it means whenever there is an increase in the income of the consumer, there will be a shift in the price line, or we say budget line. If there is an increase, it will shift rightward, or if we say if there is a decrease, it will shift leftward. In simple, we can say whenever there is a change in the income level of consumer, either income increases or decreases, there will be rightward or leftward shift in budget line. It means if we talk about this will be rightward shift due to increase in income of the consumer. This is due to, we can say, leftward shift due to decrease in the income of the consumer. So this is how we have seen how a budget line can rotate or how a budget line can shift. And we have talked about the possible reason. By the increase in price as well as if there is an increase in income, both will have an effect. It means due to change in price of either good, if there is a rotation in budget line, it will lead to substitution effect. Whereas due to change in income of the consumer, if there is a shift in budget line, then it will lead to income effect that you need to understand clearly. So if it needs to be asked from you, what do you mean by substitution effect? Substitution effect always takes place whenever there is a change or increase or decrease in the price of either good, whereas income effect takes place whenever there is a change or increase and decrease in the income of the consumer takes place. Fine. So we have seen budget set. What do you mean by the budget set? Is the tabular representation of the budget line or a price line that indicates the possible combination of two goods that can be purchased by a consumer from a given level of income. Whereas budget line is basically a price line, right? The slope of price line is constant, and we can also express price line as we have made a multiplication that price 1 quantity 1 say of x plus price 2 quantity 2 say of y will be equal to income. Y stands for income, the symbol of income. It means it will be equal to income in case of budget line. Fine. And if we say P1 Q1 of x plus P2 Q2, P1 is price, Q1 is quantity, P2 means price 2 of y, and Q2 means quantity of y that can be units can be purchased, will be less than equal to income in case of budget set, because budget set indicates that there might be possibility that a consumer can purchase the units less than the level of income. Fine. So this is possibly the equation of the budget line and budget set that we have given in front of you. Now we are coming to the consumer equilibrium. How the consumer equilibrium will be established using indifference curve and budget line. This is the important concept that we are going to see now. So if we are going to understand what do you mean by consumer equilibrium, that we have already told you, it is the level of maximum satisfaction that a consumer derives upon the consumption of two commodities. Now, maximum satisfaction can be availed. How? First of all, look at this diagram. If we say this is the budget line and a consumer is in consumption of two goods, say y and x, this is good x and this is good y, and this is the budget line and this is the indifference curve. Now we say, with the help of this example, we will prove how a consumer will be in a state of consumer equilibrium or in a state of maximum satisfaction. So with the help of this diagram, look at this diagram. Indifference curve indicates the possible combination of two goods that provide the same level of satisfaction. Right? Means all these dots are giving the same level of satisfaction, and such satisfaction is met by the entire income of the consumer. The consumer is obtaining the maximum satisfaction. I repeat once again, if the same amount of satisfaction is being derived by the utilization of entire income of a consumer, at this point we will say the consumer will be in a state of equilibrium or maximum satisfaction. It means, in simple, we just need to see that slope of MRS must be equal to slope of price line, and that is xy, plus indifference curve must be tangent to the budget line. So, consumer will be in a state of equilibrium using Hicks or an ordinal approach only when the indifference curve is tangent to the price line. Price line is basically the straight sloping line with, we can say, the MRS touches or MR become equals to 8. Fine. So basically this is what the small concept of how an equilibrium can be expressed, since a consumer can buy Y and X with respect to consumption. If he start consuming the two goods, he will be in a state of equilibrium, because as and when he is utilizing at this level, he won't be able to buy at this level, since his income does not allow to go beyond this level. But as and when after utilizing entire income, if we consuming such and such unit of X and Y, we can say the point E will be in a state of equilibrium, since the slope of MRX, this is the slope of MRX, is Y, it will become equal to slope of price Y. So this is how a consumer equilibrium has been explained using indifference curve. So students, we have completed chapter number 4, that is consumer equilibrium using indifference curve. In the next chapter we are going to see with demand. A very nice chapter, very important chapter from examination point of view and from your skills and knowledge point of view. Fine. Till then, thank you so much students. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, and meeting you very soon. Thank you so much.